Hey everybody, and welcome to the Short Film Ideas channel. This is Chike Kamara, and I'm going to give you a quick example of sort of my process into finding short film ideas, especially when um, I can't come up with any from personal experience. And yesterday, I was on CNN.com, um, and I came across this story. Now it's in the sort of archives. But as you can see, this first story, um, it it the headline jumped out at me, and I was like, "Oh man, that would make a great film idea." So, reading the headline, it says, "After finding a Christmas wish list tied to a balloon, this man drove hundreds of miles to make two little girls' dream come true." Now, if this isn't a good idea for a film, then I don't know what is. Um, I mean, of course, there are several, but we come across ideas all the time and we don't know it. Um, I mean, even some of these down here below it, like surprise conception, woman conceives second child while carrying her first. I mean, come on. These are some very interesting, life gives us cinematic moments. So, how four working mothers are doing a year into the pandemic. That sounds like a great ensemble piece. And I bet you if I go in there and read some stuff, we can come up with some some things to make it dramatic, some conflicts, some problems that they have to solve. That is what I'm looking for. Let's just click on this first one real quick. So, this is the man. Look at the picture. That's the man who drove hundreds of miles to make these two twin girls. Now that's twin girls. Look at the caption underneath the picture. Alvin and Ann Bamberg with twins Luna and Gianella Gonzalez and their new puppy Max. So basically, the surprise is a puppy that they asked for Christmas. But I mean, this is chock load of good stuff. Um, for film. Let's see. I'm looking at this editor's note and see this is good to know. Want more inspiring, positive news? Sign up for the good stuff. A newsletter for the good life, for the good in life. It will brighten your inbox every Saturday morning. You see, it's a good idea if you're in a situation where you want to come up with short film ideas and you want to. Um, Basically, I would sign up for this newsletter because every Saturday I'll get news stories that have the potential to be great short film ideas. Okay, this is on CNN.com. Sorry about that. And sign up for this, and you'll have ideas. Okay, so let's just read a little bit. So the man drove 650 miles, and the mom of the twins, 4-year-old twins, I assume that she's Latina, which is an interesting dichotomy between, the Bambergs, who I assume are not Latina or Latino, but if they are, it doesn't matter for our purposes. We're looking for oppositions. We're looking for conflicts and stuff like that. We're looking for something to make the story even more compelling. But we have a compelling story here already. Okay. So the mom had the twins tie their Christmas lists to balloons and release them into the sky above their home in Kansas. It was their way of reaching Santa Claus. And I mean, this thing is chock full of interesting sort of anecdotes. I mean, interesting visuals. I mean, in Kansas, that's interesting to me. I don't, when you think of Latinos in America, you don't even think of Kansas actually. But that's a whole nother story. I mean, not that they can't be, but you just don't think about that. And that's a good little sort of touch. And that's something you can file away and say, hey, what is it like for Latinos living in Kansas? How do they get there? Maybe that's something that can be touched upon, or showing the challenges of living in Kansas. And I mean, there's so many ways you can go with this. It's chock full of stuff here. All right, so we have that. And she said it was important to do something special for her girls because of the hard year they had during the coronavirus. This could be a backdrop. This could be an environmental backdrop for our film. A pandemic. I mean, come on. There's a lot of stuff here. Okay. The man had white facial hair. The man who found the balloons or the notes, the list, Christmas list. I mean, the man had white facial hair like Santa Claus. I mean, come on. This story is, I mean, we have a film here. This is how I find, this is the process by which I find short film ideas. He was deer hunting. That's funny. He said he saw the balloon and God spoke to him. It's funny. Okay. So this is the actual, look at this picture. The actual two lists that the girl, I mean, this is so chock full of good stuff. And it's cute. Look, girl wants Santa candy, stickers, My Little Pony, flowers, earrings. The other girl wants candy, Spider-Man ball, Frozen doll, puppy, and My Little Pony as well. So My Little Pony was popular this year. Okay. So actually, I'm just going to speed it up a little bit here. So what ended up happening was he through Facebook and a little research, he found the twins, and then they all started communicating via FaceTime, I see, and they texted and talked, and let's see, and then he started sending them the little gifts and stuff like that. But the reason he drove was to put sort of a final surprise in there, and he drove 600 plus miles to give them the puppy that they asked for. That is so cute. Look at this picture with their puppy Max. They ate, they laughed, and they bonded. Man, this is great. This is great. All right. So the question is, okay, it's a great story. And yes, you can use the story as is, basically. But you have to have a little bit, I think, to make it even more compelling. You can have a little bit of a challenge in there, a little bit of a conflict, or a little bit of difficulty in there. And there are certain ways you can do that. You can, and I haven't thought this through, um, but you can have a language barrier in there. You know, what if the parent, what if the mom does not speak too much English? You know, but the 4 year olds speak enough, English, you know, but there could be that there. Um, what if the kids sent the balloons up with their Christmas lists on their own? What if there was a little bit of difficulty at home, financially or otherwise? Okay, so you're looking for simple problems that you can, sort of add in there. You're looking for some challenges there, just to make it more cinematic. Again, you can do this story as is, but sorry about that. But cinema is story is conflict. So, you want to look for little, or sometimes big, sort of conflicts to kind of add into your story. But that's what I would do. I wouldn't make it so, cookie cutter where everything was so perfect. But again, that's me. And I would add a little bit of a challenge there, a little bit of a problem to solve there. And I would go a little more into the psychology of all the individuals involved, just a little bit. But that's what I would do. But basically, this is how this is one of the ways I find inspirations for short film ideas, and that's how I come up with my short film ideas. And this one already has an ending, so I already have the ending. I have an interesting story just based on the headline alone, and I have a compelling story just based on the headline alone. It's compelling because a man drove hundreds of miles to make two little girls' dreams come true. That's compelling. And because the audience wants to know more, well, how? And it's interesting, of course, because it's a Christmas list tied to a balloon that a man found, and he drove hundreds of miles to make the two.